Give us one more second. We're gonna do one more countdown. One more seconds, fellas. One more second. Because we want to give people a little bit more time because I did say 15. Welcome. What's up? What's up, man? We back, EJ.
We back at it again.
What's
we
up?
back
What's
at it again. Round number three.
That boy
Round
back
number
in
three.
Yeah, you're right. Got number
As
3
y'all
on the
can
board
see,
last week.
We got another guest
What's
here
going
now
on,
today.
Oh, chilling.
And
I'm good.
we got that boy. Tell them everybody where you from, Larry. You know what I'm saying? I do know that you are a John F. Kennedy product. So tell everybody where you're from.
I'm actually an LB Landry product from off the West Bank. LJ.
LB Landry.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for correcting. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man, before we get started out here. Everybody know that I'm Everett 504, and that's my son, EJ 504. You know what I'm saying? And we got Larry 504 in the house. What's going on, Larry? Now tell everybody a little bit about you.
Yeah, tell what's going on with you, Larry.
I basically consider myself almost a football know-it-all from an X's and O's and strategic standpoint because, I played the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
Was real good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, football is just my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like, I'm not cocky with it, but I just feel like I'm more knowledgeable about certain things than most. So I'll be humble with it, though.
Right.
I got a habit of humbling people.
Right. That's how you gotta be, man. Doggone, especially coming back from the QB position. I mean, look, you got your fellow QB man right there. Every 504 over there. So he going.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. We got 2 quarterbacks that's here on the panel, and we got one defensive-minded guy.
I'm the lone DB out here, so I don't like y'all too much.
That's the
I don't like y'all too much.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's 2 quarterback minds out here right out here on the panel. Former quarterback right here, Aberson Commodore. Also, we have the former Hancock Hawk and Slash, former Belhaven University guy sitting right there to the right. It's great that great football minds put their head together and start talking sports. We've been doing this for a while. We built this channel, but we never really tried to establish a channel. We really never got off the foot. But this year, we actually decided to start talking about our team, our favorite team in the world, the Who Dat Nation, the New Orleans Saints, the black and gold. So I'm 47 years old, and I've been watching the Saints. I guess since 1981. No, 82, 83. Because I'm telling my age. About 80, I was brought to the game very early as a young man. You know what I'm saying? I remember the times where we didn't have. There was a time where the Saints was on national TV, and we used to have to listen to Buddy D, and we had to get off there and listen to the radio most of the time. So we didn't have the opportunity where it was blackouts. There was a lot of blackouts with the Saints. A lot of these New Orleans Saints fans, what we see out here now, these guys are out here. If we can see, they're 2009 Saints fans. They have no idea how hard it was to be a Saints fan. So, EJ, what is your perspective?
Well, hang on now. Let's just calm down now, because I'm here with the new generation now. I'm the 2000 babies. So I'm the one that started. I saw some of the losing. Right before Drew Brees came, but then at the same time, when 2006 came, that's when all the franchise turned it around, and we had seen Sean Payton and Drew Brees take over, and we saw nothing but winning seasons, and as a 2000 baby, seeing all that, you can get spoiled with that, and I agree with you, what you say on that, Dad. A lot of us today don't know nothing about all that losing, back in the day when you was growing up. And, now, we all been spoiled with Drew Brees and Sean Payton and doggone. And now we got Jameis and Dennis Allen now. And it's a lot of us are, scared now to see, what this team is going to turn out to be and everything. But, I do say this, being a Saints fan, from 2000s, the 2000s and up, and seeing all of that, now on the Saints, just to see them coming from where, see, I'm that type, just because I was born in the 2000s area, they just, they used to say that the kids don't know nothing about that. But guess what? I'm that different one. I'm that one that go ahead and do my research and go ahead and see, what was going on back in the day. So, seeing, the big old difference from, where you had Archie Manning, Bobby Aber, all these boys back in the day. I was growing up watching Aaron Brooks. That was my quarterback before Drew Brees. So growing up, seeing all these cats, and seeing them, take these Saints, and turn the franchise around, the Saints wouldn't be who they are today without, the past. So, like I said, yeah, we don't know nothing about it, but at the same time, we are part of the new generation. We are part of the new Saints. We are part of the Saints that, that are winning, that are, that's kept the city, back on the map, So what about you, Larry? What you think about, blasting back to the past and everything,
Like, I didn't really get caught up in the football till like about 87. That's when I really started like getting into football. So I was there for like,
You're another Saints fan that came when they were winning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Larry,
But you got to think about it though. After 92, them years after 92 up until 2000, that was rough.
Mm-hmm.
That was some rough years.
Mm-hmm.
I call them the forgotten years, because you try to forget that it was just that hard, but especially when Mike Dicker came. Oh my God. That was like, forget about the paper bags. You were sticking your head in a hole in the ground. That was
Danny
embarrassing,
Walford,
bro.
Danny Walford. Who can remember Danny Walford, his helmet getting turned around and spun around, and it was just horrible to watch. We had so many different quarterbacks the Saints have brought in, and
Billy Joe.
it was just a talent thing. Billy Joe, Billy Joe Holbert, Billy Joe Tolliver. I want. Look, we have a guest. We have a person in the chat, and I think it's Drunk. If I'm pronouncing it right, Drunk. The brother was stating. Yeah, he was stating about his first comment was about I need Tyrann Matthews. Excuse me, I'm thinking about Tyrann Armstead. Tyrann Matthews to come in hungry and ready to win. He also stated, and you guys could be able to answer this after I bring all his answers. He also said he's been a Saints fan since Aaron Brooks, and he also talked about whenever we got a quarterback, the sky is the limit. And then he also talked about, we had some bad draft years back then. Okay, so what you can answer all these questions. Starting with you, EJ. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Drunk, first of all, to answer your first question, I see what you brought up the point with Tyrann Mathieu. Tyrann Mathieu, I want all the Saints fans out there to know, let's just calm down. Okay, let's just compare this to the Michael Thomas situation. Okay, everyone was just freaking out a week ago that Michael Thomas wasn't going to be healthy for the season, and that he wasn't going to come back healthy. And guess what? He's back out there right now during training camp. Doggone, we got him videos of him dancing out there. He's looking very good. So, all right, Tyrann Mathieu, he had to step away. He had to tell DA, he had some personal family issues. And once again, I said this last week on the live, guys, we got to calm down with these athletes. These athletes are human beings, okay? All right, they have families, they have lives themselves, they have things they have to take care of. They have to take care of. Tyrann Mathieu will be back. He will be back, and when we get him back in this training and camp, it's gonna be on and popping. It's gonna be great. We're gonna be fired up. But at the same time, let him handle his family business, okay? Let's not sit there and push on the family, and be like Tyrann, let's get worried and stuff like that. He's okay. It's not like he's out for the season or he's hurt or something like that. He's just checking in on his family, making sure things are straight with them, and all going, he'd be good. Also, to answer your other question, and I'm glad you brought up the Aaron Brooks, era. I'm part of that, and Aaron Brooks was that guy. Talking to a lot of Saints fans and seeing them, I just seen this question. Actually, the Boot Crew media, they actually brought up the top 10 Saints quarterbacks over the past decade, and shockingly, I didn't see Aaron Brooks as the second, top quarterback in Saints history, because no one talks about Aaron Brooks. Aaron Brooks was one of the best Saints quarterbacks ever. I know he did not have the best of teams, he didn't, but he brought the Saints, their first playoff win in a long time. Aaron Brooks was that guy,
Ain't a long time ever. Ain't a long time ever.
Drew Brees. Everybody loves Drew Brees, and we know Drew Brees brought us our Super Bowl and everything. But Aaron Brooks was Drew Brees before Drew Brees came by. He was that franchise-saving quarterback. And nobody talks about him. I'm glad you brought that up. And I just wanted to throw that out there. Aaron Brooks is that guy. Let's talk about that man more as far as Saints quarterback history, because I know one of the reasons why they gonna criticize. A lot of them talk about Archie Manning, Bobby Hebert, and all these cats, but Aaron Brooks, man, come on now. I know. Look, I know we don't have a lot of black ones out there, he's the first one for the Saints. So come on now, let's talk about this guy, But go ahead, eh?
Jeff Blakes was actually the first black quarterback for the Saints. Aaron Brooks was on the same team with him. Jeff Blakes would have been the best Saints quarterback before Aaron Brooks, but he got injured. Okay, he got injured. Actually, it was Adrian McPherson. Adrian McPherson was the first black quarterback the Saints drafted. Okay, that they had. Adrian McPherson went backwards, and I'll never forget. He was under the wrong center. So if we go back to Adrian McPherson,
he got under the guard.
What you say, brother?
I did about to do a fumble.
Yeah, he got under the guard. So, I kind of forgot about Adrian McPherson, and Aaron Brooks was the most successful black quarterback that they had, because at that time, like I said, people are going to criticize him for not winning a lot of games with the New Orleans Saints, but they had a lot of bad defenses. He did not have the actual offensive team that you see Drew Brees have. Okay, he didn't have that. He did have Joe Hahn. He did have Willie. I can't think about the guy. Willie Jackson. He did have Willie Jackson, but that was a 1 year thing. He didn't have that many weapons. Jerome Payton was nice, but they were not. Dante Stallworth was nice. But they were not what the Saints, what Drew Brees had, so let's just be honest. And the offensive lineman, we had Kyle Turley 1 year, and Kyle Turley, he didn't last that long with the Saints, as he had a lot of terrible injuries. But I just always wondered with Aaron Brooks, he didn't get a lot of chances in the NFL. He went to the Oakland Raiders, and when he went to the Oakland Raiders,
that was going to turn out.
He was set up to fail. He was set up to fail.
Exactly
1 year. And you see Caucasian quarterbacks in the NFL, they get more opportunities. They get to sit behind. They get opportunity. Even the bus ones, even the bus get an opportunity to be backups in this league.
Look at Josh Rosen.
Marcus
Look at Josh Rosen.
Marcus Russell.
Yes. Larry, you brought up a huge point with Josh Rosen, Lord.
They trying to find some kind of way to justify this man as an NFL caliber quarterback.
He's not. You're right,
man. Same thing with go up there, Daniel Jones in New York. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. I get mad with Bobby Hebert. He has the audacity to critique and criticize Jameis every move. During these times during training camp, if you go watch Bobby Hebert, go ahead.
How many games did Bobby Hebert throw away for us? Throwing last minute interceptions.
Bobby had the greatest defense in New Orleans Saints history.
He had the Saints past the first round in the playoffs.
Greatest defense. He has some of the greatest defense. We went to the playoffs, got tore up by the Minnesota Vikings, got tore up by the Philadelphia Eagles. He lost a toot to Reggie White and them. You know, my mother was so frustrated with this guy. Go ahead.
Atlanta Falcons also. We lost to the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, my God.
Last minute intercept. Took us out. We had Super Bowl caliber defenses, but we had Bobby Hebert at quarterback. Come on, man. Bobby can't talk.
And then you go ahead and you tune into, WWL on the radio and you hear the Cajun Cannon, going Bobby Hebert. Expert. He the one losing, so it amazes me. They talk about the great quarterbacks and Saints history, and they'll talk about, Aaron and doggone and like I said,
the successful.
The successful quarterbacks that actually won games in New Orleans and that actually, that actually made us at least look worth watching, on TV. So it just baffles me.
The thing they fail to realize how bad it is. The thing they fail to realize, we had Kerry Collins at quarterback at one time.
Kerry fucking Collins.
Come on, man.
Kerry he was an alcoholic at that time. He was an alcoholic. I mean, let's just be honest, y'all. Let's just be honest. After Aaron Brooks,
exactly. Blaine Gabbert.
Of course we can say Archie, but Archie did not win.
Yeah,
his record, he might be the most talented quarterback.
Yeah,
but if you got to go with wins, see, you got to get out your feeling for your love for the Mannings. That's the problem now. You guys are only putting Archie Manning up there because of his sons. Archie Manning did not win in New Orleans. He is no different than Bobby. Bobby actually had a more successful career than he did. So
exactly,
I'm not going to only because of his talent, I'm going to put him as the third best quarterback in Saints history. But I will tell you this. Jim Everett was not with the Saints very long. And Jim Everett broke records.
A lot of yards.
He did.
A lot of yards and only 3 seasons with the New Orleans Saints.
He was very slept on. Slept on.
And he slept on big time because he had and another guy.
You scared of that
another
hit?
Guy we got to say, we have to put for the limited times. We have to say, I know they didn't play a lot. Well, you have to jump Jameis Winston, and then you have to jump. What his name? Teddy Bridgewater. You have to put these guys because these guys won games. Yeah. I'm telling you, go look at the records of the other Saints quarterbacks. Yeah. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But then if you're going to go by percentage, if you're going to go by winning percentage, you got to add Taysom in there too if you're going to add winning percentage.
You got to actually put Taysom. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to add winning percentage. Everybody think we hate Taysom. We don't hate Taysom. We actually like Taysom, but we just don't like him as a starting quarterback. No.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought out Taysom Hill. You see, here's the thing about Taysom Hill. All right, look. Everybody has their thing about Taysom. Half of the Saints fan base likes Taysom Hill as the quarterback. and half of them likes him as the gadget guy. See, Taysom Hill kind of ruined himself with quarterback, and here's the reason why.
Oh yeah, he did.
Taysom Hill made himself a gadget guy. Okay, as a quarterback, you don't do that to yourself. You make sure that you play quarterback, and that's all you want to do. You know, you don't see Lamar Jackson saying, "Hey, let me play running back, let me play quarterback, let me do all of these these cornerback and all these other things." Lamar Jackson plays quarterback, and that's what it's going to be. Taysom kind of let the Saints, do all these other roles with him, and it kind of ruined himself for the quarterback position. Not to say that he can't throw the football.
In his defense, son, in his defense, that's all it was going to let him play. He wouldn't have made the team if he wouldn't have listened to Sean Payton. He would have not made the Saints team. They made him as special team. They put him all over the field because he was willing to do that in order to make the football team. He would have made the football team if he'd have played.
I agree with you on that. I agree.
I want to address Drunk because I done seen Drunk make 2 posts about Jameis Winston, but I need to point some things out to Drunk.
Go ahead, Larry.
This is where I get in at. Drunk, I need you to understand something, pimp. Jameis Winston and Drew Brees came to us the same way. Damaged goods. Drew Brees lost his job in San Diego before he got here. Jameis lost his job in Tampa Bay before he got here. Drew Brees had to have surgery and get things done before he got here. Jameis got his surgery after he got here. But the thing about Drew got thrown into the fire as soon as he got here. Drew Brees' first season wasn't all that great. He had a decent season, but it wasn't great. Just because we made it to the playoffs and everything, we did that on the strength, really on Deuce McAllister back. Deuce McAllister and Reggie and Joe making plays and Marcus Colston. Drew did his thing, but he wasn't great at that time. Jameis coming in the same situation. We got a glimpse of Jameis, what Jameis can do last year with no weapons. No weapons, dude. 5-2 with no weapons. And he didn't play bad. He actually played decent. Exactly. Now we got weapons. Now he got weapons, so he gonna step it up. But you talking about we spend our time, what can he take us? It's not all on Jameis. Just like it wasn't all on Drew, it's not on Jameis. Y'all made excuses for Drew Brees, talking about he didn't have a defense or whatever. And then when he got a defense, Drew fell off. Yeah. So what we need to do is stop coming down on Jameis acting like he's some garbage trucker. The dude actually is not. He is immensely talented. He just needed the proper situation, just like Drew needed the proper situation and the proper coaching. He done been in our system. This is 3rd year in our system. You start an improvement from last year. This year, you're going to see even more improvement.
I want to elevate off of what you said. I want to talk about what you said. I just want to, when you talk about Jameis.
He played you with that one. I like that. I like that, man. I like that. I like this one.
Let me tell you, that's why Larry's going to always be here on this page. This is what I want people to understand this, and I want people to understand this. I was just like Drunk when it came out of James. It took a lot of you guys to change my mind. You remember we battled in the group. It took a lot because
we remember that.
Yes. And I'm still a little edgy with him, but listen, I got better with him. I'm gonna tell you what changed me with I didn't like him in Tampa. I didn't like his attitude. I thought he was immature. I thought he was a very immature player. But then I realized he had grew up coming to New Orleans. That when he took that opportunity to say, I'm going to back up and be a backup, a guy who's been a starter all his life, something that Cam Newton won't do. Cam Newton won't sit behind nobody. And this is the reason why he'll never get a job in the NFL again. Yep. One thing about Jameis don't have the ego. Jameis humbled himself and said, you know what? It was a Hall of Fame quarterback that took my job. It's not like somebody off the street, somebody that's like some garbage quarterback come out and do it. It was a Hall of Fame quarterback that took my job. And I humbled myself to go behind another Hall of Fame quarterback. And I learned from another Hall of Fame quarterback. I got a chance to pick his mind for a whole year. Pick what Drew Brees was doing, how to be a complete man. A man. Okay, so on and off the field. Now, when we talk about Jameis, the first 5 games Sean Payton was handcuffed in the man. Sean Payton did not allow him to make stupid mistakes. But in a way, I did not agree with Sean Payton. A lot of stuff that he was doing, he was being too conservative. Because you got a guy like this who have the arm that Drew Brees was losing during the last couple of years. Drew didn't have that arm. So you got to, every time this man had that opportunity, he used that arm to his ability. And I'm telling you, the dude is gifted. He's gifted in his mind. He's fun to be around. He's a great teammate. And I just think that people want to play for Jameis Winston. This team want to like Jameis Winston. I don't want Jameis to revert back to the old Jameis Winston, not just relying too much on his arm. Take what you learned from the great Drew Brees and do the check down. Throw the ball to the running back. If you can't do, you can't always do it all with your arm. And don't be trying to run that football. Protect your legs. Don't run that football like you was trying. I just think that my criticism, what he did to Marcus Lattimore, time that he did to Marshawn Lattimore, Marshawn Lattimore, that made me hate him more than anything. Not because of his football play. I changed that. If Marshawn can forgive him, as a Saints fan, I can forgive him, okay?
Right.
Okay? Right. We can forgive him, okay, Saints fans. The dude is a gifted man. That's not everybody don't want to talk about that. This man has capabilities of win championship. He won a championship with the Florida State Seminoles. Okay? He has championship.
He was the only star on that team.
And he was one of the youngest players. So let's get off. We got to get off Jameis, man, and give him a shot. We gave Drew. Drew came in with lower expectations. They had kicked him out of San Diego. They drafted a quarterback for Drew. They counted him out because of his shoulder injury. And Drew, the Saints gave him an opportunity to come over here, similar to what they're doing with Jameis Winston, okay? Sean, if y'all look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had did everything for Tom Brady to succeed. They did not do that for Jameis Winston. When you talk about, if we want to talk about it, there's a lot of racism, and I'm telling you, it's still going on. You don't go out and get Antonio Brown. You don't go out and go get your boy from New Orleans, running back Leonard Fournette. You don't go out and get these players to
Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah. I think we losing them, but I agree with everything what Dad is saying here. Jameis Winston is he has so much potential. So much potential in this league. And I just feel like Jameis Winston doesn't, get the coverage, the hype, that same respect that, everyone else does. I think a lot of them, in this league, they look at Jameis Winston, they laugh at him as a joke in this league. Like he just, everything he does is just funny, and he's a really good teammate. He's a really good guy. He means well. Coming into the league with the Buccaneers, people tend to forget. Now Tom Brady has come over to the Buccaneers. Everyone has acted like the Buccaneers has been winning over the years, like they've been doing this, like they're the Patriots or something. Like I saw the rain on the Buccaneers parade, but guys, the Buccaneers have been nothing but trash. I'm sorry. Besides the Mike Allstott years, when they had John Gruden and them boys back in the day in that defense, besides those days, the Buccaneers were not good, guys. So, for them to come on and act like they're all holy and thou and act like just because Tom Brady has come over to this team and changed the franchise and everything. No, it's really about, like what Dad was pointing out, they put enough around Tom Brady so he can win. They could have done the same thing with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was your number one pick. Jameis Winston was your guy. You supposed to give him, your Rob Gronkowskis, your Antonio Brown. You supposed to go ahead, Leonard Fournette. You're supposed to give him that old line that they got, and they didn't do that for him, and that's a shame, and doggone now, you have him go ahead to the Saints, and now Jameis is with a good team. He got to sit behind the great Drew Brees. He was able to go ahead and looking within himself and say, you know what, I'm not about to go ahead and just try to jump into any spot just to start again, because he could have done that. He could have went to any team and went and started anywhere, but he humbled himself. He wasn't like Cam Newton, which Dad made a great point. He wasn't like Cam Newton, where Cam Newton wants to start everywhere. Cam can't start in the league no more. He has to go ahead and figure out himself first. He has to go ahead and fix his arm. He never had a great arm in the league, you know? People forget about that. So sometimes you got to go ahead and sit behind somebody, get your mind right, get straight. Now, he had a great season last year before he got hurt. People forget about those things, and all going to want to write him off, but that's okay. When he comes back this year and he starts throwing going freaking over 3,000 yards and he starts, really 30 touchdowns a game and he starts cutting down those interceptions, I mean, it's really going to come down to, like, what y'all gonna say to him now? What you think?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I had some technical difficulties. If I go out, you guys.
I'm gonna be all up on top of their head with the "I told you so"s, because
exactly
they act like he a scrub, and the first thing they point out is the 30 interceptions. Mm-hmm. Okay, Brett Favre got close to that. Peyton Manning got close to that. Any quarterback that was under Bruce Arians got close to that number of interceptions. Mm-hmm. But they don't bring up the fact that he's one of the few quarterbacks in NFL history that didn't cross that 5,000-yard threshold. Ain't no scrubs doing that. The only scrub I see he did that was Matthew Stafford.
Right. And he's got a Super Bowl ring right now.
Okay,
if Matthew Stafford can do that right now, why can't Jameis Winston do it?
But Stafford got that ring in spite of him. Like the Rams got the ring in spite of Matthew Stafford. Stafford didn't play great. It was that defense. Mm-hmm. It was that defense and simply throwing the ball to Cooper Kupp and Eli Apple. Mm-hmm. Eli Apple really won them that Super Bowl.
What I want to say, fellas, was before I got knocked off, and I'm probably gonna get knocked off again, but if I don't, y'all keep on going. The brother said Jameis had Evans and Godwin. Okay, when he had Jevons, he had Mike Evans and Godwin. That was the time.
Whoa!
Okay,
don't act like that great receiver, bro.
Let me explain.
Don't act like them two top-flight receivers.
We can't talk over each other. Fellas, we can't talk over each other. This ain't no. Just let me explain. Let me explain, and I'm gonna let y'all explain. The whole thing is what I'm trying to let you guys understand is this. Jameis had Godwin when Godwin was just becoming Godwin. Okay? Mike Evans and Godwin were not the players that they was with Tom when they got with Tom Brady. They were just becoming themselves. That year, Jameis threw for 5,000 yards. They were just becoming themselves. Now you add Antonio Brown with that, and you add a Gronkowski with that. Mm-hmm. That takes you over the hump. They didn't have patience with Jameis Winston. Like I said before, in that system, in Bruce Arians' system, it's made to throw interceptions. So it's a no brisket, no biscuit type of offense. If you have never seen the great Tom Brady throw so many interceptions, because in the system under Belichick, they were not allowed to throw the football that much. There was a balanced football team. So what I'm telling you is that when you're going to see the best of Jameis Winston this year, because Jameis not only got Michael Thomas, he got Jarvis Landry, he got Chris Olave. You got to understand, this team is so deep. I want to drum. No disrespect. I just want to see you back in this chat, and I don't want you. I want you. I'm gonna make sure I keep all the words that you're saying, my brother. I respect everything.
Tell him come on.
You can't come on the panel.
I got something to tell him right
on the panel.
I got something to tell him right now.
You can come on the panel, dog.
Ain't no way he just come on here and he just said Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Jameis had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Are you serious? Because you had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, that makes you a better football team than what Tom Brady had. That's it. What the hell did Jameis Winston have on that defense?
And to
You
tell you the
tell
truth,
me right now, did they have that same
Their defense was nowhere near.
near?
Their defense was not the same. And that's what people got to do. You got to go look at the Bucks roster. You got to look at the Bucks roster.
Come on,
Okay.
now.
And I want you guys to understand. Look at the Bucks roster then, and look at it now. And I'm not talking about the one they won the Super Bowl. Before then, with Jameis, they started to add. They were drafting some young players. They were adding free agents. Them dudes became a solid organization under Tom Brady. Look at Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians was never a winning football coach. He was never a great football coach.
Exactly.
He got under Tom Brady. He becomes a champion. Okay, this is the reason why he's not the coach right now. Tom Brady did not want him there.
Exactly.
Tom Brady did not want him there. So if you can see, Tom Brady don't want his ass there, but yet you can't see it from Jameis Winston's point of view. And I'm tired of y'all saying 31 interceptions. I'm tired of y'all saying 30 interceptions. Because if you're going to talk about Jameis Winston interceptions, why are you not going to talk about Brett Favre 28 interceptions? Why are you not going to talk about Peyton Manning? Nobody's going to talk about Peyton Manning throwing interceptions. He threw 28.
Let's talk about Tom's first season when he came in with the Buccaneers. How many interceptions did Tom Brady throw that season? How many interceptions did he throw that season under Bruce Arians?
It was I think about 15. I think it was like 15. I think it was like 15.
Never threw that many interceptions in his career.
We love you, Drunk. We love you, brother. Just come on in. Come on into the Baddest. We love to hear
you. I gotta hear your logic on that because that's crazy.
And thank you for subscribing, brother. Thank you for subscribing. Look, we gonna be we gonna be seeing Drunk for a long time because the brother said he'll be here. He subscribed.
Hey, I love it. I love it. That's what I
we
like
got
to
for the brother. He said, "Listen, maybe Breeze spoiled me." He said, "Listen, maybe Breeze spoiled me. I don't like my quarterback being question mark." Yeah, look, I gotta give him that because I think a lot of Saints fans have been spoiled by Drew Brees and his team because the Saints, even when the Saints was bad, Drew Brees was putting up the numbers. Okay, they had 7-9 records, and this it was 3 back-to-back 7-9 seasons. But yet Drew Brees and I blame Sean Payton because we should have had 3 to 4 Super Bowls if it wasn't for Sean Payton. Sean Payton did not put a complete team around Drew Brees until his last 3 seasons. That's when he started doing it. And by then, Drew Brees is not the same. He should have replaced Drew Brees 3 years ago, okay? If you really want to be honest, okay? Because this team was ready to win a Super Bowl. They were built to win a Super Bowl 3 years ago, family. So we don't talk about it's forbidden for us to talk about Sean Payton. It's like if you talk about Sean Payton, you're talking about the Who That Nation. Damn that. Y'all said what it is. Sean didn't run the football. He had 2 of the best running backs in the backfield. And he did not run the football consistency. He put everything on Drew Brees. He passed the football too much. We should have won multiple Super Bowls. He won his first Super Bowl. He had a top 5 running game. People they ignored the fact that the Saints had a top 5 running game when he won the Super Bowl. And he went away for what won him the Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Larry. Go ahead, Larry.
I just want to tell Drunk that Jameis didn't even have Mike Evans because Marshawn Lattimore was erasing him. So Marshawn Lattimore had that boy erased. He didn't even have Mike Evans. So
yeah, but listen, if you erase, that's why I tried to tell you. That's why I told y'all. If Tom Brady, EJ, you know what I'm telling you. If Tom Brady had, he had Godwin and he had Evans, and if Marshawn was shutting down Evans, he got Evans. Think about what James just had 2 of them, right? So they were more easier to contain them 2. But if you add an Antonio Brown, then guess what? That's different. That's a 3-headed monster. You ain't gonna be able to control that.
Do you put
and that's the same thing we building right
now. Through the middle. Come on now,
you can't cover with that.
You can't.
It's not like we had Jimmy Graham no more.
Exactly. You
can't cover all it. And that was a big blow to Tampa Bay. Jensen, they said it was a big blow. EJ, they lost their center for the year. That's a big blow for Tom Brady.
Yamada gonna eat that up. Yamada, our interior line
Yamada.
eat that up. Gonna eat that up.
Before I even get to that, because the Buccaneers in trouble. The Bucks is in trouble with that. But before I even get to that, Drunk, I gotta tell you this.
By game 6.
I gotta tell you this, Drunk. Like, look, bro, you as a Saints fan, you can't call yourself a Saints fan. You sitting there, hollering and crying about, the national media is talking about my quarterback. Look, I know you've been spoiled. Over the years, and all going. You didn't have Drew Brees over the years. Of course, nobody gonna talk about Drew Brees. He's the great Hall of Famer. This is how you know this franchise is changing. This is a new franchise now. You don't have Drew no more. You don't have Sean Payton no more. This is a new team now. Come on now, Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston. Oh Lord, Antonio Brown went there. Same reason Julio just went there.
Julio stealing money. Julio Jones stealing money at this point.
If you was talking about this 4 years ago, if y'all was saying Julio going to the Bucs 4 years ago, I'd be worried. Julio going there now at 33 years old. At 33 years old, Julio going there now, and I'm afraid.
Give me the Saints DBs right now against that receiving core the Bucs have. I would take it any day. Straight up. Like
my brother said, he don't listen to the national media about Jameis. I just know a superstar when I see one. He said,
because what you sound like right now is you listening to Stephen A. You're listening to Skip Bayless. You're listening to all of these boys out here that's talking about don't believe in Jameis Winston. Jameis could have thrown 35 interceptions per game. Don't believe in him.
These were the same people. These are the same. Like EJ, these are the same people who talk. But EJ, these are the same people who talked about Drew Brees, who said that, who refused to put Drew Brees in the top 5, who refused to talk. These are the same people who all those years. Even no matter how many records Drew Brees broke, they still don't want to give Drew Brees his time. So imagine any players that come to New Orleans, basketball, football, they're going to scrutinize them. Zion Williamson, if Zion would have went to the Knicks. There would have been, because of the Knicks being an organization, being of New York being a big market, what they would have been doing, they would have been praising him being the next LeBron James. Being in New Orleans, and it's the problem with the national media. Them stars being in anywhere else,
that's all it is.
They would give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't like
small market teams, man. They don't like small market teams. They never have. Whoever's in Miami, whoever's in Los Angeles, whoever is in New York, whoever's in any one of those doggone big markets, they're gonna ride their nuts. That's just what it is, guys. That's just what it is. Straight up.
The brother said, so what y'all saying is Tampa was a better quarterback than Brees in San Diego. Yes, he was his first couple of years. Go look at Jameis Winston.
Look at Jameis Winston numbers in Tampa Bay.
Go look at Drew Brees 5 years and look at Jameis Winston 5 years. Jameis Winston actually broke records in his first 5 years. Yes. Drew Brees in his first five years was bench. He was benched as a quarterback in his second year. They had Doug Flutie over Drew Brees. Okay,
y'all act so like Drew Brees was who he was.
Now, if you want to talk about his last 2 years, last 3 years, that's different. Drew Brees' last 3 years in San Diego, that's different. He became a better quarterback. But if you talk about his first couple of years, and you compare it to Jameis, Jameis was better than Drew Brees his first 5 years.
No, forget all that.
That's just.
Drew Brees was not Drew Brees until he left San Diego.
And got with Sean Payton.
Not
coaching change.
No, I'm going to disagree with y'all. His last 2 years in San Diego, he became
that was LT.
His last 2 years
that was LT.
In San
Come
Diego,
on now.
he became Drew Brees. That's what made no. Oh, look at his stats. Drew Brees as a quarterback, because he was trying to Antonio Gates. He had a couple of good wide receivers, and Drew Brees was Drew Brees the last 2 years of San Diego. His last 2 years, that he had a great running game. He went on. That's how he was able to go on the market, go to New Orleans, and he went under Sean Payton, who was willing to use his strengths, which is passing the football. Because Drew Brees in college was outstanding. He was that quarterback in college, but nobody really underlooked.
He wasn't throwing the football in San Diego, though.
Yeah. So,
he wasn't
we're
throwing the
saying
football
who
in
was
San Diego.
better, we're saying who was better during that time, Tampa and San Diego. It was Jameis. Go look at Jameis' stats. Only one bad season that he had was his most horrible season was his best season. He threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. 31 touchdowns, I think 32 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. So if we're going by 1 year, if we're gonna go by 1 year, yeah.
Let's be honest though, Jameis 1 year of doing that
made the Pro Bowl.
is better than Drew Brees' whole career of San Diego.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he made the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Now the brother just said if we still had Sean Payton, I would be more faith. Would have faith.
No.
Well,
I think
I
want
to give him some more faith, y'all. I want to give him more faith. That same guy who traveled with Drew Brees from San Diego is the same guy that coached the Saints without Sean Payton for a whole year when he was suspended. Pete Carmichael was coaching the Saints offense the whole year. Nobody wants to talk about this. Now, the Saints were top 5 with Pete Carmichael, okay? And then people are going to say, well, he had the weapons. Well, he still got the weapons. He got even more weapons now. So if we go and look at it, when Sean Payton broke his leg, it was Pete Carmichael on the sideline calling the plays. You guys got to really look at this guy, man. People don't. He wasn't the offensive coordinator for nothing. That's just like y'all wanted to get the black guy from Kansas City, who never gets his props because he's under
let's not do that to Eric Bieniemy.
He doesn't get his props.
Let's not do that. Let's not do it because Eric Bieniemy is that
don't ever see the guy because
he is that.
But because of Andy Reid, they're going to assume it's Andy Reid. Same thing with Sean Payton. They're going to assume it's Sean Payton because we like to look at the face of the person. We look at who's out there talking and who bringing a swag, but we don't see who's out there actually calling the play. Sean took that. Sean was jealous. Sean took his play calling back from this man. Okay, Pete Carmichael is actually more balanced than Sean Payton. Sean Payton throws the ball more than Pete Carmichael. Pete Carmichael utilized his running game, and that's something that's going to be better for Jameis Winston. The fact that he's willing to run the football. You can't put everything on the quarterback. I'm just saying.
Hey man, I gotta say this too. I not to cut you off, Larry. I'm about to get you back on, but I gotta say this too, Drunk. You are a prime example of why we here right now on the Baddest Sports Show podcast right now, because we love fans and followers like you. We love when y'all come in and y'all have conversations like this, man. And you got me fired up right now, man. When I'm telling you, this is the conversations we need to be having on this show. And all going, I'm glad we're having these conversations because Saints fans, this is what it is. You know, all going, we have agreements. We love our football team and we are together, you know, as a city, and we love it all. But we have disagreements. We have big disagreements, and we have, you know, players that don't have. I mean, we have fans that don't understand sometimes the other side of it. You know, a lot of them, you know, have these little spills where they're scared. They're not sure of a team or a teammate or on the Saints or somebody that, you know, that may scare them and stuff like that. You know, I'm just glad that you came on here and that you were comfortable enough, you know, to ask these questions, man. We like that, man. We need more of you guys to come on and to do these things, man. But go ahead, Larry.
See, this is what I realized. We got some Saints fans that are just fans, and we got some Saints fans that are students of the game.
Yes.
That understand that it's more going on behind the scenes than what we see up front.
Yes.
They go about what they see up front and they think they know. They don't have the common sense to understand what goes on behind the scenes.
Yes.
They don't have that. They don't have that understanding. So they come
I
up, they
totally.
start throwing stuff out there. Well, we gonna be better. I feel better. Sean Payton, man. Sean Payton needed to go. His time was up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Andy Reid left Philadelphia. His time was up. Regardless if they
Yes.
were winning or losing, it's a thing called staying somewhere too long.
Yes.
A lot of the great coaches, a lot of them, they're not gonna have the longevity that Bill Belichick has. But to tell you the truth, Bill Belichick done stayed too long in New England.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's like he didn't hit a wall.
Yeah.
He didn't hit a wall.
Yeah.
Man, you know why I know that he's telling the truth? Well, he's telling the truth so much. The reason why I can
hitting it. He hitting it on all points right now. He on fire.
You saw that with John Gruden. Listen, you saw that with John Gruden. When John Gruden was, you can only do so much as a coach and so much fame. John Gruden knew, and I say this all the time, that John Gruden wasn't a guy that was the reason they won that Super Bowl. He hijacked Tony Dungy. That was a hijack move. He pretty much was the guy to take them over the top that year. But Tony Dungy built that team, bro.
Don't give John Gruden that team. The reason why I'm telling you don't give John Gruden that credit because who did they play in the Super Bowl?
I don't want to give him that credit.
The team that John Gruden had just recently coached with John Gruden offense. He knew the offense. That's why Tampa stopped them people at every corner.
Mm-hmm.
Because John Gruden knew the plays. The Tampa defense was calling out the people plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's how he beat them.
That's how he won that too. And after that, he couldn't win nothing else after that.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't win nothing else. And even then, the Saints still had their number.
Mm-hmm.
Saints swept them.
Special shout out to Jared. Special shout out to Jared Hill. Jared Hill. He just came in. All of us, we want to say who that to you, brother. And another shout out to the brother Drunk because he is saying some, he's not getting offended to what we were saying to him.
Oh yeah,
and I just gotta love him as a Saints fan because
I love how we can have these conversations, man.
Yeah, we can have a constructive conversation without people getting in their feelings. And understanding that
at the end of the day, we all love the same team. We all love the same sport. It's all going. This is what the conversations we like to have, man. We like to have fun on here, man. This is what we about on this page, man. And I'm glad y'all are being comfortable enough to come on here and get yourselves involved, man. Jared, thank you for the comment, man. Doggone, we appreciate it, but that's what we here for, man. We supposed to go ahead and be on here and have fun, man, and doggone and speak that real, man. That's what it's all about.
I gotta respond to Drunk again.
Drunk. Go ahead, Larry. Go ahead.
Instead of feeding me ammo, see the thing is, you gotta understand what's going on behind the scenes to understand what's going on in front. The problem is you only see what's going on in front, but you don't understand what went on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. You only see a finished product. You don't understand, like me and Chad, we both play quarterback. So we know the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game plan and get ready for a game.
Right.
The quarterback got his hands on everything. The quarterback got to know what everybody doing, from the offensive line to the wide receivers to the running backs. We got to know everything.
Right.
We really, the key that moves the offense. If we don't see it hut, that offense don't move.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say we understand what goes on, the preparation behind the scenes, game planning, personnel, and putting personnel packages together. Y'all only seeing what's going on the field.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, Larry. He telling his age right now, and I hate to do this right now because he part of my group. He part of that 2000 group, man. And doggone that new generation, they're not. You see, I'm kind of that special part of that group. I go ahead and I do that research and I go ahead and I look into it. He's part of that group. He's part of that group that just don't look, man. Doggone, we're not looking enough in my generation. We're not looking and seeing enough. We're listening too much to the new media. if we sit there and go ahead and actually do our own research and really look at these things and see let me go ahead and see what Jameis did, over there with the Bucs and what he had, what type of roster he had. Let me look at Drew Brees when he was with San Diego. Was he really that guy in San Diego? Doggone, what was his numbers looking at? And doggone, instead of just listening to me what Skip Bayless has to say, what all these guys has to say, Stephen A and all of them, if we can go ahead and really look into it as Saints fans and doggone and stop just riding the heels of all our winning seasons we had since 2006 with Sean and Drew and everything, and stop panicking so much. It's okay to see something new. Larry, you brought up a great point. A lot of these people are being in these franchises too long. Sometimes you got to cut it loose, man. You can't stay there forever. You got to go ahead and move on, man, and doggone do something new with your franchise. Because if you stay there too long, you're going to be like Bill Belichick and them doggone Patriots, and they're hitting the wall, man. They're not the same team. They're not the same team no more. They don't have Tom Brady. Yes, you still got the great Bill, but it's not going to be ever the same no more, man. You gotta just... Hey, move on. Go ahead and do something new, man. Doggone, spice it up with your franchise, man. Doggone, because they're not going to be here forever. And that's just what it's all about. The game is meant to go ahead and have your greats and then have successors to those greats. That's just what it is.
But I'm going to tell y'all something else, too.
I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to play this right quick. Go ahead.
When Sean Payton come back, I don't believe he's going to come back to an NFC team. Because the reason why, he also was part of that setup to set the Saints up.
Mm-hmm.
Sean know Jameis is about to go off this year.
Mm-hmm.
And what he don't want to do is be in the NFC, have to keep facing the Saints in the NFC championship game. Sean going over to the AFC.
I think it's San Diego. I think what me and EJ was talking about. I think we were talking about last
episode.
Week.
Yeah, we were talking about
San Diego,
this.
Georgia.
Miami. It's going to be Miami because Miami is stacked. Miami got a stacked team and no coach.
I don't think Miami.
I think Cowgirls. I think the Cowgirls low key are a dark horse in this. I really think the Cowgirls are a dark horse in this.
Remember I said that. Jerry Jones not going to want to give up what is required to get Sean Payton. That's a bunch of first round picks.
That's going to be the thing in this. How much are they willing to give up to get Sean Payton? Out of all three of those teams, who's willing to give up the most for this guy?
Check this out. The Dolphins, look at their roster.
There's always going to be a dark horse. There's always going to be a dark horse. And I'm telling you, it might be, these are the teams that I think. It could be the Jets, Robert Saleh. If they don't have a good year this year, it could be the Jets. It could also be the Dolphins. And I'm telling y'all, San Diego with Hewitt. Why wouldn't he want to go with Justin Herbert? This would be like a match made in heaven for Sean Payton going on the West Coast. He loved the West Coast. He loved California. That would be a match made in heaven.
I'm gonna point something out to you. If Sean bring his system to Miami, who is in Miami right now? If he bring his offensive system to Miami,
Tyreek.
Armstead.
No.
Tyreek.
Nope. Teddy.
Ooh.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater is there. Y'all look at that, huh?
I like that. I like how you thinking right now, Larry. I like that.
Have a good season because he got Tyreek.
Let me give y'all guys. Let me see if it's gonna play right quick. I'm gonna try to play something right quick. Give me 1 second. I don't know if y'all can see it. Could you see it across the screen? Now this.
Play at times, which is good to see under Sean Payton, and then unfortunately got hurt. What do you expect out of him this season?
The analogy I've used this offseason is Sean Payton got him to play quarterback like a baseball player with 2 strikes. And you choke up a little bit and just get back on the ball. It's not a 3-1 count when we're trying to hit a home run and we can swing away. And he did a really good job of that. And now he's got 3 pieces weaponry-wise that he did not have last year. Michael Thomas is starting to look healthy. And we got to remember, Michael Thomas was that moving piece in this offense that was that not only a really good possession receiver, but did get those chunks. Such a smart receiver. Does Jameis get on the same page with Michael Thomas the way that Drew Brees was? Because that was that unspoken language. I remember watching cut-ups of Michael Thomas running certain routes, and he saw it the same way as Drew, and that's why the ball came out. Can Jameis get to that spot? And then think of Jarvis Landry. Jarvis is that guy that Jameis now has to work the middle of the field and get open and just trust that you'll be able to throw it to a spot where he can use his body to make a catch. And then they draft Chris Olave at Ohio State in the first round. That one of the better route runners that you could say, because Michael's not necessarily this, and neither is Jarvis. Go out there, you got a corner, it's man-to-man, win just on route running. And you can do that, but also push the ball downfield a little bit. So I'm really excited to watch James because I've been super critical of him, and he's done a nice job of really understanding the people that he has around him.
You see the Saints offseason and all the additions that we just referenced there. Of course, Michael Thomas was even emotional talking to the media about getting back in action, what it means to him. I want to cut back to some of this video of Jameis Winston, if we can, out at practice, because you see that really heavy knee brace on there. He looked like he was moving pretty well. They're working on getting this video back up for us. But what is the outlook there on his injury?
Okay, I just wanted to share that because that's one of the analysts that I can give a lot of respect to. Okay, this man here gets a lot of crap for the former quarterback of the Detroit Lions. That what his name?
Dan Orlovsky.
This guy here always talks. Yeah, Dan. He was critical of this dude a couple of years ago, but he really rooting for Jameis Winston. He think that the Saints is the second best team in the NFC behind the Rams. And I really respect him because if you think about the national media, a lot of the national media are really shitting on the New Orleans Saints, and I'm not liking it. Like you said last week, son,
I'm loving it too.
Were talking about the fact that if Landry would have went to the Bucks or Tampa Bay would have gotten Tyrann Matthews, then they would have been blown up all over almost every day.
Super Bowl favorites. Everybody talking about Tom Brady. It's all over.
Right.
I mean,
and when it comes down to the New Orleans Saints, they just want, we got to think about Jameis. You know, it's like Jameis is the question.
Yeah.
So I just want people to understand that not all people are against the Saints.
They did us the same thing in 2009 until we started rolling off them wins. Once we started rolling off them wins, I felt good to see them backtrack because all they do is talk. They just talk. They don't be knowing that. They just go with the wave. That's all they do. They don't really be knowing that. They so-called experts, but they don't know. And Stephen A., I can't wait to see him eat. Ooh, I can't wait to see him eat it up.
Hey, Drunk. Hey,
How
Drunk.
many times Stephen A. has been eating it up? He did that with McCullough. He did that with the NBA team, with the Pelicans.
This man did come up on here and said, I feel like Jameis. But I'll put it back on the screen, Dad. Put it back on the screen. I need to see this one so I can read this one again. Put it right back. I feel like Jameis' success is all based around Michael Thomas, a receiver who don't want to be here. What in the world?
Whoa! A receiver that don't want to be here.
Tell me why, Drew.
Wait.
Michael Thomas.
What gives you any reason that Michael Thomas don't want to be here?
Give me
because of what you heard from the national media. This is the same thing happened with Zion Williamson. That Zion did not want to be in New Orleans. Exactly. That Zion wants to be in New York. That Zion don't want, and Zion signs this long contract, and then they change the word. Colin Hurst says, he changed his mind because that would have been a smart decision to make because he had no other options. Man, stop it! You guys have created nothing but scrutiny against New Orleans.
Let's stop this right now. Michael Thomas is crazy. I say right now because he was going through his.
If he didn't want to be here, he would hold up. If he did not want to be here, and I want Larry to answer this. Larry, you do know that players find a way to get out of their place. If they don't want to be somewhere, they find out, even on the contract, they find a way to get out of that contract if they don't want to be here. Guess what? He didn't want to be here because of Sean Payton. Let's just be honest. He did not get along with Sean Payton. You guys don't know how Sean Payton has alienated so many players. There are so many. Y'all notice this. If Sean Payton was so much of a great this and great that, why did not Sean Payton go out to get Odell Beckham? Why didn't he go out and get some of these great? Why didn't they sign elsewhere? Mm-hmm. As soon as Sean retires, then Mickey Loomis become aggressive. Mickey Loomis go out and get Jarvis Landry, Tyrann Matthew. Mickey Loomis become this tells me that Sean was the problem. That because of him he's stuck in his old way.
Sean got an ego problem. That's what Sean got. Sean got an ego problem, and he feel like he is never wrong.
Very stuck in his own way.
Michael Thomas not want to be here. If Mike didn't want to be here, Mike Thomas is the type of personality, he'll let you know. Straight off the back. I ain't never knew Mike to bite his tongue on nothing. The only thing he bit his tongue on was what really happened with his injury and his treatment and why he got surgery so late. That's the only thing he bit his tongue on. But anybody with two eyes can see what actually happened there.
Mm. I mean, look, Sean, look. Sean Payton, like y'all say, I definitely agree with you guys. Doggone, Sean Payton he was too stuck in his own ways. Sean, over the years, doggone, started to get real, just like people started to know what to do with the Saints. Like he started to get stale with his play calling.
He would rather go get an undrafted guy. He would rather he'll prove to the world that he got to go get the undrafted guy, EJ. You know, he want to prove to the world how great of a coach he is, that he could change anybody, make somebody out of nothing. Just like the guy who got pass interfered in that game against the Rams. Well, I can't think of the little guy.
I mean, I feel like too, like Sean won that Super Bowl with us, and he got complacent. You know, he felt like he could do things the same way. You gotta have creativity. You know, in this league, it's a young man's league, and there's always gonna be something new going on in this league. You can't keep doing things the same way. And the fact that he came around and don't get me wrong, I love my Ohio State players that they done brought in. Marshawn Lattimore, you know, they had Malcolm Jenkins, all these great Ohio State, Michael Thomas, all these great Ohio State players that we've benefited from over the years. But come on now, your team is in New Orleans, the greatest state of Louisiana, and you're about maybe a couple of hours away from Baton Rouge. And you telling me you can't draft none of those players out there? Like, come on now, like that's not good. That's a shame. There's no excuses for that, you know. And doggone to go back to Drunk, man. Like I see some of these comments you making, man, and that's not good, you know, opinions to have because you know. Michael Thomas, yes, he had the injuries. He's battled his ankle. But what you want the man to do? You know, doggone, that doesn't mean he wants to leave because he's sitting out. Put yourself in his shoes. You injure your ankle. You trying to battle back and get back in. People forget, man. Ankle injury, man, that's hard. That's hard to come back from. You go ahead and you mess up your ankle and have multiple surgeries on your ankle and tell me you can be the same guy. You know, doggone, you can't blame the man and say he wants out of New Orleans because he's taking so long and you're getting antsy as a fan that you want him back and you want to see him back as soon as possible. Like that goes back to what I just said. A lot of these fans out here look at these athletes as robots. They are not robots. Okay, they are human beings, you know, doggone, they got lives, you know, outside the game of football, okay, or any sport, okay, if we're talking about basketball with Zion, okay, doggone, and yeah, I do agree there is some instances where they have players out there that feed off of these franchises, and they just want to take money from these franchises, but come on now, don't do it with Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas been a receiver that's been reliable damn near his whole career. Don't do that to him.
He really extended Drew's career.
Yes. I mean, come on. Really, doggone, he was so good. that you had people like Brandon Cooks that didn't even want to be in New Orleans no more because he was taking away reps from Brandon Cooks. So come on now, you can't say that now. Like Michael Thomas not a diva. By no means. He's not that. He's never been that type of guy. He's handled his business in the league. He's one of he let his game do the talking, quite honestly. I mean, he got that little hashtag shh that he does all the time because he don't do the talking. He let his game do the work, you know? That's what I like about him, you know? And I feel like because a lot of these athletes today don't do all this talking, like Richard Sherman and all of these people, because they don't say nothing, then they want to talk for them. They want to act like they know what's going on with these athletes' minds and what they truly feel and what's going on with them. You know, doggone Michael Thomas got on in that press conference, and Jeff Duncan, a reporter of New Orleans, that did reports on Michael Thomas and did reports on Zion Williamson and did his reports and talking about, oh, Zion wants to leave New Orleans, or does Michael Thomas really want to be in New Orleans? Michael Thomas came in that press conference and said, oh, I remember you. You the one that been saying stuff about me. He letting his game do the talk. He hears and see these things. These athletes see us. They see us talking about them. You think you just gonna go ahead on here and think that you talking about them and they ain't gonna see you? They don't see what you saying about them, that you bashing them, and they use that as fire. And that's why I'm telling y'all, Michael Thomas gonna go off this year. He's got a lot to prove, and he's got a lot of reminders to give a lot of you that he's probably the top 3 best receiver in this league. Go ahead, Larry.
It's like Chad Johnson said. He been saying for long, Michael Thomas gonna come back and show you MFers exactly who he remind y'all.
Yes.
Mike got a chip on his shoulder, and see they got him in a box for like he's slant boy. No, Mike can run the whole route tree. We had a limited quarterback. His arm was limited, so of course he gonna get open on the slants because he a big body, strong receiver. He really the whole offense is gonna clown this year.
Oh yeah. Look at that. I'm fired up. I'm fired up this year because, you know, these conversations, like Drunk has been bringing to the chat right now, and Jared has brought up. And I wanted to mention this that Jared brought up. Colin Cowherd, it's another one. Ooh, I don't like that boy. I really don't like him.
No views, no nothing.
Because he's the quarterback expert. He likes to go ahead and talk about how, you know, the Saints, that Jameis Winston won't be nothing, and that, you know, the Saints never are good every year. You know, it's all going. I'm so glad Jared brought him up. You know, he is one of the ones out there in the national media that just don't like the small market teams. You know, doggone, they look at stuff like us, like teams like us. They just want to crap on us, man. They don't care what we got going on. Like Dad pointed out, and I brought this up episode 2 last week. Like these teams, like they sit there and they want to talk about doggone these small markets. They don't care about us, man. They sit there. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had got Tyrann Mathieu, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got, you know, Jarvis Juice Landry, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Marcus May, if the Tampa Bay got all these players that the Saints are doggone sign, I promise you, they're the favorites. They're probably still are the favorites right now. But they're the favorites by God. Don't say nothing about the Buccaneers, because you know why? The Buccaneers just picked up all these great players, and they and they love Tom Brady. They love Tom freaking Brady nuts. Tom Brady about to be 45 years old. And don't get me wrong, I give him respect. Don't get me wrong, I give him respect. You're 45 years old, still got you a decent arm. But come on, man, you're not God out here, man. You're not. I mean, doggone, you're a man. You piss like I do. So doggone, like, it's really not just you. In football, Like I can see in basketball, you can individually carry a team. You can. Like Michael Jordan, and even with Michael Jordan used to go ahead and have Scottie Pippen, and he needed his team. Doggone, it wasn't all just about Michael Jordan, but doggone, you can do that in basketball. You can have one player on a basketball team and carry them to a championship. In football, you can't do it. You can't just have a good quarterback and think you're going to carry a football team to an NFL championship and have a Lombardi. It's just not going to happen. You need a football team. You need a receiver, a doggone running back, a line. You need linebackers, cornerbacks, all these things to fall into place to have a special football team. And that's what the Buccaneers did. They put players around Tom Brady instead of doing that for Jameis Winston.
But you know what? Is one thing a lot of people don't realize. A lot of them players came here to play with Jameis.
Yeah.
They came. That's why Jameis didn't ask for a big contract. He didn't do what Drew did and leave the cupboard bare to where he couldn't get no help.
Yeah.
Jameis left money on the table to get other cats in here.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry came to play with Jameis.
Yeah. Like
hold up now. On Drew Brees' defense, because I'm sitting here listening. On Drew Brees' defense, he did play with the Saints for a longer time than Jameis Winston, and he earned that contract. Let's not act like Drew did not earn the contract that he received. That at some point you have to pay these guys, just like the same thing with Russell Wilson. All of them who stayed long enough. They shout out to Calvin Washington. Drew Brees deserved the money that he gotten. It just so happened to be that when he got it, he was getting a little older when he got it. Okay, so to say that Drew did not deserve his contract, he should have probably got his contract a little earlier than when he got it. Okay,
yeah,
because Drew deserved his contract, every penny of it. You know what I'm saying? Because
he deserved it.
We got to go back to when Drew Brees did not have defenses, and them times that he had to carry the football team. Because Drew carried the football team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being honest. I have to be honest on them. So I'm rooting for Jameis, and I hope Jameis be every bit of what Drew was.
Drew did, but that last contract that Drew, the last little bit that he got, he handicapped himself because he was just trying to get paid at that point. Everybody.
Right, I agree with that. I agree on the last one. The last one is where he made a mistake.
And that's why he couldn't get no receivers to come. Nobody, because he couldn't pay him.
Yeah.
I'm not coming just to play with you.
I agree with you on this point. Like, people don't even talk about that Jameis is getting players to come to New Orleans. Like, people want to play with Jameis Winston. That's how good of a teammate he is. Like, yeah, laugh at him. Eat the W. Yeah, like, laugh at that man. Like, but he's getting players to play with him. People want to play with Jameis Winston. Like, that is not fake news. That is not reality. That is real. Like, people want to play with Jameis Winston, and that is for a reason. Because the cat can play. The boy can play. And if you can't see that,
I mean, you see when Harris, Deontay Harris, who is now Deontay Hardy, you've seen the impact, even having that young man out there getting the passes for Jameis. Jameis can throw the ball to you. Drew didn't have that arm to crank it down. Drew had to throw them slants to Michael Thomas, hit them little short. Do you know Michael Thomas can go out there and hit the big one down the field?
Yes.
Michael Thomas is going to show you guys. See, I think a lot of you guys see Mike as the slant guy, but he was only the slant guy because his quarterback could not get vertical down the field for him to get bombs. Look. If you can see Mike Evans going down there catching bombs, I'm pretty much sure you're going to see Michael Thomas catching bombs. Okay, so a lot of people just won't look at the big picture of some of these. And look, hey, if you can't stop the slant, so be it. Look, you can't stop the slant. Now, what is wrong with the slant if you can't stop it?
I feel like fans out there always want to find something to get on somebody about. Michael Thomas was at a point to where he was one of the best receivers in the NFL. And nobody couldn't find no more excuses to say on him anymore. So at that point, they was just saying slant boy. So you come up with stuff like that, and it's like, wow, okay, you slant boy. So why not stop it? Why not stop a slant, a 5-yard slant? I mean, that should be for a cornerback, and this is coming from a cornerback's mindset right here. From a cornerback mindset, that's the easiest route for me to cover right there. I get inside leverage on you, and I know it's coming towards me, and I know game feel. I've been watching you for a week, and we prepared for you. And I know you're Michael Thomas, and that's all you supposedly run is a 5-yard slant. I got you all game. But how come these cornerbacks couldn't stop it? And we talking about the top cornerbacks in this league having trouble to stop. Can't guard Mike on a 5-yard slant. You don't have excuses no more. And then when you see him running corners, and you see him running goals, and you see him running post routes, and you see him catching right in flats in the middle of the field, and then you turn to that person and you say, what can you say now? So a lot of it is fans. A lot of it is fans that don't have they running out of excuses to go ahead and talk about this kid. Doggone, he's so doggone good and unstoppable. He's so big.
About PJ Williams, son, they did the same thing with PJ Williams. Half of New Orleans wanted PJ Williams out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
And PJ Williams.
I ain't gonna lie to you though. I was one of them. I was waving my hand and I was like, PJ, get out the door. Get out the door, because you know why? You know why PJ was acting kind of crazy out there and playing crazy. But you know what? PJ stepped up last year. And I'm a man enough to say that PJ, I respect you.
PJ is valuable.
PJ, if you can bring that this year, hey, we on good terms. We on good terms right now. But last year was when I got respect about PJ Williams, because years before I've been waiting on PJ Williams for the longest time to go ahead and step up.
But this is what Saints fans don't understand, including yourself. It's called patience. I don't know if you remember, Larry. We had Nekovich,
Rob Ninkovich, defensive end. Rob Ninkovich. He went to England.
Yeah. He went to New England and became an all-pro. And the Saints fans was impatient enough with this guy. And I told people, I told with Trey Hendrickson, my son just brought up with Trey Hendrickson.
No, Trey got flaws. Trey can't play the run. He just a pass rusher. He can't play the run.
But he's undersized. And that happens to a lot of guys.
Again, with Trey, you can't pay all them boys, man. You can't pay all them boys.
He's still a Pro Bowler,
You know how damn good that 2017 draft class was? I mean, you can't pay all them boys, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You just
can't
do that.
Back to Rob Ninkovich. I wasn't. My son, look, your brother just brought up Trey Hendrickson. He just brought him up. I'm trying to tell you about
I'm just saying, you can't pay all them boys.
I'm telling you, Rob Ninkovich, at that time, we didn't have the defense that we have now. And at that time, you can't tell me there's a player on this team that was better than Rob Ninkovich, but was patient enough because of his injuries coming in. The Saints are quick to get rid of this young talent before they give him a chance to be able to see. We just like Davenport. A lot of Saints fans want Davenport out the door, and that would be ridiculously stupid, because soon as he leaves us, he's gonna be a man.
Let me tell you something about Marcus Davenport. You know why? You know why I got respect for Marcus Davenport? They just showed a picture. Nick Underhill. Go on Twitter. If any one of y'all, has not followed Nick Underhill on Twitter, subscribe to him and shout out to him. Nick Underhill has showed a picture of Marcus Davenport's pinky finger, amputated pinky finger. And he's out there practicing. He's not out there fully cleared yet, but he's out there off to the side practicing. That's respect, man. Doggone, I keep saying this, these are human beings out there putting their lives on the line, and you got this man without a doggone pinky finger. He out there trying to grind for this city, and you got people smack talking to him because doggone he hasn't stayed healthy. The man don't got a doggone pinky. Stop it.
You know what? Davenport
We just had Trey. We just had Traquan. We just last week we had Traquan Smith in our chat. Just last week. And Traquan Smith said we were talking about how Saints fans are so critical.
Mm-hmm.
Look like we having could you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Your picture froze up, but we can hear you.
Okay, we had Traquan Smith was just in the chat, and shout out to Traquan for taking the heat in the chat. And he told him he gonna prove the world. He wanna show everybody that they were wrong about him. He's a lot of the injuries that he had was soft tissue injuries. And I want you to understand, for those who know or who's an athlete like me and Larry and my son, who are athletes or position, we are easy to get soft tissue injuries because of the fact that when you play in that position, you're not a lineman, you're not in a stationary position, so you can pop something. You can, man, let me tell you something. Ankle injuries, hamstring injuries are hard to come back from.
That's hard.
People don't realize it.
That's hard,
man.
Man.
To come back from, especially if it's not treated right. If it's not treated right,
right.
So, if you never played for sports in your life, you really need to shut the hell up. That's all.
Exactly. Just
ahead,
shut up and watch the game, man. Because quite honestly, you don't know what it feels like. Stop talking.
I didn't want to go there with him, but that's cool because my senior year of high school, I wasn't eligible to play football no more because I got expelled twice. So I was too old. But playing football around the house, I was on my way to college to play ball. Mm-hmm. Playing football in the project house, 3rd degree tear my hamstring. Damn near tore the bone. I ran a 4.3, 4.40. That went bye-bye. I ain't never recovered from that.
Bullet.
I thought I got shot. To tell you the truth, I thought I got shot. When that pain, I blacked out for a second.
When I tell you,
I thought I got shot.
I just alluded to this last episode that we were just talking about this, man. You already know. I come back in the house and I tell you and mom over there, I'm battling with hamstring injuries every time I go ahead, from track practice or even sometimes at football. Doggone, that's tough. When you're going full speed and you're fast and you're trying to go ahead and you got soft tissue in your hamstrings and you're trying to go ahead and use your body the way you want it to. And that's frustrating. That's a hard injury to come back from. You can't sit there and rush back fast like that. You have to let your tissue build back up in your leg. You can't sit there and push it back, because if you keep pushing it, you're going to tear it. And I was sitting there trying to go ahead and rush back because, I want to be back out there on the field or back on the track and do my thing. But you got to be patient with stuff like that. And people weren't patient with people like Traquan Smith. People aren't patient with Michael Thomas when his ankle injury. People aren't patient with Marcus Davenport with his doggone amputated pinky finger. Like they, I don't know what these fans got against with these athletes. They act like doggone they robots out there where doggone they expect them to doggone to be out there 100% healthy all the time. It don't go that way, man. Doggone, and I don't see nobody else doing it. If you're not doing it, then you shouldn't be having no opinions or really getting mad at somebody for not even doing it when they're trying to battle it back and trying to get themselves right.
Mm-hmm. But that's why when a player get injured, I don't really say nothing because I already understand how it is. I say nothing. You got to let them do them to get right.
Now, don't get me wrong, too. They have athletes, like I just said. I already alluded to this. They have athletes out there that some of them just want to go ahead and fake an injury or escape from the franchise. We have those out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not about to sit there and act phony and act like they don't have those out there. But we got to be real out in this world and really just be eye-opener as fans and really say to ourselves, hey, let me just go ahead and scale back off of this person, man. Maybe they're really going through something. Maybe they got really battled back from something that they're really injured from,
Oh, but y'all boys was going in, but I wanted to touch on something with the Michael Thomas thing and the route running thing.
Go ahead.
See, what I do is I do my research. So when I say something, you better believe there's research behind it, and I give you what I use to do the research.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Michael Thomas, when I say he can run the full route tree, you got to go back and look at Teddy Bridgewater highlights from that 5-game stretch where he started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the type of passes he was throwing to Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to step a lot in there because he threw it to Thomas a lot. Thomas didn't skip a beat. That's why when they say Drew made Mike, no, Mike made Drew. Mike kept Drew here 3 years longer than he should have been.
Right.
Go back and look at Teddy Bridgewater highlights over that 5-game stretch when he went 5-0. Look at the type of passes Mike Thomas was catching.
Exactly.
Look where he was catching them at. 15, 20, 30 yards down. He caught a couple of deep balls. Got behind the defense. That's why when people say slant boy, I laugh. Because I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
I mean, people act like doggone Michael Thomas wasn't carrying this football team when Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill were the quarterbacks of the football team when Drew Brees was gone.
Even Taysom was hitting them with good balls.
Exactly. Like, come on now. And we know Taysom Hill don't have a good deep ball. Taysom Hill don't got a good deep ball, but guess what? He was getting into Michael Thomas. Like, come on now, like Michael, that's how good Michael Thomas is, man. And Michael Thomas just doesn't get that excitement that every other receiver in the NFL does, and that kind of shocks me, man. It really is unbelievable. And all those records the man has broken. The man is, every time a football is thrown near his way, he's catching it. He has a 90 to 95% catch rate.
He's just really over 90%. But you know what? If you notice, one person been quiet, and I know why he been quiet, because he was like, I'm going to shut up and let Mike do the talking. His uncle, Keyshawn Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That pedigree. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Keyshawn spoke on it early, like around the draft. But Keyshawn been quiet about his nephew because he already know.
Because he know doggone Mike been putting in work. Doggone, that's all it take though. Like, and that's another thing too. Like in this, it's a social media world today. You know, everybody expects you to go ahead and post something about yourself and, you know, media market yourself. And doggone, a lot of times with these athletes, they act like you have to post something about yourself so everyone can go ahead and stay updated with you. Michael Thomas didn't do that. People forget that you don't have, just because you ain't posting everything every 2 seconds, that you're not working behind the scenes. You know, and that's what Michael Thomas been doing. He's been under the scene, getting himself right. Doggone, been grinding, been working himself hard so he can get back with his football team. And guess what? He's back at training camp right now, back with his teammates, so he can go ahead and get acclimated to that offense, get acclimated to Jameis Winston, and get himself back to where he was. People don't see that though.
But you know what? And Jameis is exactly the type of quarterback he want to play with, because he saw the type of passes Jameis was putting out there. Deontay Harris catching balls downfield. Mark Callaway, what the boy named, the tight end, Juwan Johnson.
Yes.
Hey, bro, do you see how much weight and muscle that boy done put on?
Yes.
That boy.
Yes.
He remind me of Vernon Davis.
Yes. Hey, that's another camp name out there, Juwan Johnson. Everyone's sleeping on. Nobody's really talking about Juwan in his tight end room. Everybody wants to talk about Taysom Hill, he's becoming a tight end now, which is understandable. Everybody wants to talk about Adam Trautman. Adam Trautman needs to show me something this year. And they're talking about Nick Van Ette and everything. But Juwan Johnson is, I'm telling you, he could be that Jimmy Graham type. If he can sit there and continue to go ahead and learn and doggone and improve his blocking skills, because I think that's the only weak point he has as a tight end.
That's why, man, that boy is built.
That boy is a big target. And he showed flashes of it last year. I remember the Jaguars game. He went off, and Jameis was finding him. So I'm glad you brought up Juwan. Juwan going to do something this year.
But you know what? That boy Lucas Kroll looking good too.
Yeah.
If Taysom stay hurt, see Taysom too injury prone.
Well, don't you guys forget about Lucas Kroll. Look.
He been looking good. Lucas Kroll See, what I'm looking at is what Marcus Colston did to Dante Stallworth.
Yeah, look out for Lucas Crow.
But Marcus Colston came in there and made the Saints trade Dante Stallworth. And Troutman don't show no improvement.
Because he played with Kenny Pickett. With Kenny Pickett's tight end. Kenny Pickett, who plays for Pittsburgh.
This the year Troutman has to like prove to himself that he can be on this team. Because quite honestly, there ain't no guarantee on this team. All right, let's just say that. Like, let's be real here. And I know we drafted Troutman, and we expected a lot out of Troutman last year. But if he doesn't come to play this year, Lucas Kroll, like you just brought up, you got Jawan, we just brought up as well, and Taysom, if he can stay healthy, that's 3 tight ends right there. You don't need four tight ends on this football team. So somebody's getting cut.
But you know what? They just might carry 4. That's why I keep saying Ian Book is not going to make the roster. It makes no sense to put Ian Book on the roster when you got Taysom.
Nick Vannett is on there for blocking. Nick Vannett is a blocking tight end who can't catch the ball at times. So you got to have your blocking tight end. So he's made the team strictly because he's a blocking tight end. Okay, a lot of people don't realize that they're going to need a lot of blocking.
Got to prove it too. Vanette's got to prove it too.
To run Vannett up out of there.
I know. I'm not saying he ain't got to prove it, but you know, even if Troutman on this football team because of his blocking skills, you're not going to have all pass catches. They're going to have probably 2 pass catches, and they're going to definitely have a blocking tight end. It's just not logical to have all tight ends that just catching the football. They're going to have a blocking tight end because they got a running scheme. So having Alvin Kamara, you got to be able to have a run. Have a good.
See, not necessarily, because with the Saints,
a good blocking tight end.
They throw a tackle out there to play that blocking tight end spot. They'll throw a tackle out there.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Exactly,
tackle eligible.
Yeah,
I seen that too. That was under Sean Payton. That was under Sean Payton. We're gonna see.
You made an interesting point there, though, Larry. Doggone about Ian Book. Ian Book has to have a good training camp and a good preseason because if let's just say Taysom do stay healthy the rest of this training camp and on into the preseason, and Ian Book doesn't, prove that he can make this roster, he can be cut. Because Taysom will be used
Taysom will be
quarterback power situations.
The third emergency quarterback. That's no reason to have the brother said. No reason to have a 4th quarterback because you got an emergency quarterback sitting on your team who has won football games in the National Football League. Despite how much a lot of people don't like him, he can still keep the team together until we able to get back on our okay. So I want to chat. I talked to you or Larry on the phone, and I had to change my mind, my brother. I agree with you. If Ian Book does not have a good training camp, he is not the future of this team. I do agree with you.
Ian got to beat Andy Dalton. That's the only way he's going to get a spot because you got to look at it. We stack that wide receiver. We stack that safety. If Smoke Monday start making some noise back there, they're not going to let Smoke go. So we need that one roster spot. It's going to either go to a tight end, a wide receiver, because Kirk Merritt been looking good out there.
Running back. Don't forget about Avery Smith. Avery Smith. That's another kid.
See, the 3 running back because Tony Jones been looking horrible. So it's going to be Abram Smith, it's going to be Mark Ingram, and it's going to be Alvin Kamara. And what was the boy name? Number 24, Dwayne Washington.
Yep.
Well, Malcolm Brown. Don't forget we got Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown is a steady running back too with the Rams. Malcolm Brown might elevate past a lot of guys. He might be even the 2nd running back. Malcolm Brown played with the Rams.
It also has a lot to do with depending on that suspension too. Now if Kamara,
but the suspension may not happen. I'm hearing they have rumors, EJ, that the suspension may not happen this year.
But at the same time too, if it does happen, it depends on however long the suspension is. then Malcolm Brown will be on the roster. If the suspension is short, then Malcolm Brown won't probably be on this roster.
Well, Malcolm Brown got to outplay everybody else. He really got to outplay Mark Ingram.
Yeah,
he really got to outplay Mark Ingram.
That's right.
Ingram's,
That's
gonna get his.
And the way Mark Ingram looking at number 5, the way Mark Ingram looking at number 5, he looked like he didn't rejuvenate himself.
I ain't even
Mark
gonna
Ingram was
lie
out
to
there
you.
dancing. Y'all saw him at training. Y'all seen him at training camp, man. He looked at buff there. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
What y'all think about him in 5, man?
I didn't like him in 14, bro. I didn't like him in 14. Number 14 did not fit him, bro. That was terrible, man.
I don't like 5 on him, though. I don't like 5 either, quite honestly. I really think he should have went back in the 20s, you know?
I like 5. He look a little buff with 5, you heard me? You know? He look a little buff, you know? I think it's better than 14. It's better than 14. He can't get 22 back. He ain't getting 22 back.
I mean, he could have got 28. Could have got 28 back.
I got to step away for a second. LeGrand Cub.
Yeah, he never did like 28. He never did like 28.
Go ahead, Larry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we about to end the live anyway. So we about to end this live anyway. But EJ, get the last topic going, and we about to head on out of this live because we almost close to 2:00, and we are so excited, man. This is one of the best ones. This is the best one, man. Sir, I mean, wow, this is awesome, man. This has been awesome.
Let me recap this for y'all, man. This is wow. I love this. This is what me and my dad, envisioned when we first, started, bringing this back. And doggone, I'm so glad that we had so much involvement today on the show, man. We only on episode 3, of our Saturday broadcast, man. But man, this is awesome, to see the fan involvement and to see, we just had Mr. John Butler off of Twitter come on here. I seen my cousin up there that came on. We had Traquan Smith last week, man. We had a bunch of fans, Mr. Drunk out here today, had some questionable calls out there, but man, that was fun. That was fun, man. And we had Jared, man. That was also fun to have you on, man. And and it was good to have Larry. Shout out to you, Larry. If you don't come back on the screen, man, but doggone.
Larry's a regular. Larry's gonna be a regular. He's not going anywhere. So.
I wanted to tell you guys, doggone, remember, we are here every single Saturday, 12 o'clock. We try to do 12 o'clocks, guys, doggone. And make sure you guys, if y'all want to join this doggone panel and actually talk with us, man, come on and talk some crap with us, man, doggone. We love it. We like this, man. This is exciting, man. We like to have fun on here. The panel is open up to 6 people. Doggone, as long as nobody ain't sitting there cutting each other off and everything, everybody can get their words out.
Open up to 8. We can actually open the panel.
I mean, we can open up to 8 too, but doggone, like I said, man, we keep it open for everybody to go ahead and be comfortable and to join in, man. This is what it's all about, man. And doggone, man, I enjoyed it today, man. I really did. Doggone, I wanted to remind y'all as well, Tuesdays that we're trying to go ahead and get started on doing spaces on Twitter as well. And then we also during the week, y'all go ahead and make sure y'all stay involved on the page and look out for our little short videos that we have on the YouTube page. Throughout the week, there's breaking news topics or little topics that we hit up on throughout training camp to make sure, you guys stay within the loop on the page and stuff. So, man, doggone, like I said, man, I enjoyed you guys, man.
We also on Facebook. Let them know that we're on Facebook also.
We're also on Facebook. The Baddest Sports Talk group on the page. If y'all want to join the group, make sure y'all go ahead and join in. Y'all know our name, so y'all can easily get on there. Also, we have a Twitter page, Baddest Sports One. It's at Baddest Sports One. Y'all follow that page, man. It has everything you need up there to keep up with this page, with this YouTube page. Doggone, it's right there for y'all to go ahead and see. Doggone, it has also fun comments that y'all can go ahead and keep up on and stuff like that. And like I said, we putting the spaces on that page as well. So like I said, we getting it going, man. We getting it started around here, man. This is only the 3rd episode, but man, we is off to a great start.
If you would like to donate to any one of these guys on this panel, what is your Cash App, Peanut?
Yes, also our Cash App information. I know for me, mine's is at $ swagging EJ. So the $ is over the S, so you don't have to put the S in. So $ and then swagging EJ. So the $ is the S for the swagging EJ. SW. So $WAGGINEJ. And then Larry, what you got for your Cash App or anything that you want to be donated for? If you want to put out there, what you got, man?
I don't have Cash App, but I don't really need donations. You know what I'm saying?
All right, and Peanut 504, you know what we got for you, man? What's your Cash App, man? 504. All right, Peanut Nola 504. Y'all go ahead, and if y'all want to send out some support to the page, you know, y'all can always do that. We always welcome that, man. And doggone, like I said, this is for y'all. This ain't just for our benefit, man. This is for y'all, man. This is for the sports fans, man. We do this to have fun and just to show love for y'all, man. And then also, it's not just a New Orleans Saints thing or a New Orleans Pelicans thing or just Louisiana sports in general. We talk about all sports, man. We have fun. We talk about any and every sport. We talk about all y'all teams. Boxing. Even doggone, we a high school. Boxing, doggone soccer, doggone track and field, anything y'all want to get into, we'll bring it to the stage for y'all, man. We having fun out here.
Friday night football. We're gonna be doing Friday night football.
We'll be doing Friday night football. You know, shout out to
Saturday.
Yes, college football Saturday. Shout out to the Hancock Hawks out there. I am an alum out there, you know, and I got 2 brothers out there that'll be doing that. So I will be going ahead and, you know, putting that out on the page as well. You know, Larry, doggone, if you want anything, I know you're an alum out there, so I know if you want to go ahead and shout out anything for your high school, you know, you can, you know, Dad, you too, you know, for Abe, you know, doggone, you can go ahead and put anything out there for your high school as well. So, you know, so I'm telling y'all, man, we doing it for everybody.
We're gonna be doing the morning, the pregame for the New Orleans Saints, the pregame for the New Orleans Saints, and the after pregame. I mean the game after. We're gonna be talking. So that as soon as the game over, you're gonna hear Larry, myself, and
so
EJ
every Sundays after the football games, we'll do a post game recap of our games, and for Saints football, we'll do a post game recap, or even before the football games, we'll do even a pre-game show. So doggone, we got a lot of stuff coming to this page, and doggone, we just getting started over here, man. Doggone, I know I'm excited. I hope y'all excited, man. Doggone, so we here, man. Doggone, I hope y'all ready.
So Larry, you got the last word.
All right, I just want to give a shout out to my LB Landry Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? Got a new coach coming in this year. I'm looking for big things from him.
All right, now. We sure gonna be looking at them, man. We gonna see what they working with this year, now.
Shout out to the mighty Commodores, the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. The mighty Commodores. Shout out to the Commodores. And I really got to start getting more connected to them. And shout out to my former Pee Wee coaching team, the Pontchartrain Patriots, the Pontchartrain Parks Patriots. You know, I coached there for many years. And shout out to Coach Wayne and all them brother Wayne Morris and them boys, keeping the flow, bringing all the talent to St. Aug and all these other top high schools in New Orleans, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that brother. Like I said, and shout out to all the kids I coach. You know, Jacoby Jones and many of the Squeaky Johnsons and some of the great guys that I have gotten, Dwayne Mitchells and some of the guys I got a chance to influence. Okay, and shout out to there's a lot of them, Jonathan Cartier. A lot of these guys who I got a chance to coach. But we're gonna be really doing this we do this every weekend. But we also gonna be, like my son said, we're gonna open up our own spaces on Twitter. And we're not holding back with anybody. This is the reason why we call ourselves the Baddest Sports Show podcast, because we're not going to hold back. You guys are willing to come at us. We're not going, as long as you're not disrespectful. We do not allow all that cursing on this channel, but we will go back with you with facts. We're not going to go back with you with cursing you out and wanting to fight you. If that's the case, we'll just delete you. Okay, we'll just delete you. So, but at the end of the day, we're gonna keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserve respect. So I want to thank all y'all, man. Once again, we had a powerful day. We ended on time at 2:01. It was supposed to be 2:00, but we really did a good job. We started, and this was a long one. And remember, Larry, you get a chance, you share it to your people.
Yes.
Share it, the EJ, you share it to people. We got to keep sharing it so everybody can know.
Also, if you're still watching right now, y'all make sure y'all share us, man. Put us out there, man. Continue to show support. Put us out there. Keep sharing this, man. Doggone, we want to continue to grow bigger. We're growing.
Your favorite podcasters.
Yes, doggone. We growing every single day. We are growing, man. Doggone. I can tell we just on episode number 3, man. Doggone. So we doing good.
They're
man.
coming in. So it is what it is. You got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to be from the bottom, and I know it is for those who know my Aborigine channel. Shit, I'm blowing up on that channel, and on TikTok I'm blowing up on that channel. So it always starts off slow. Everything that you do starts off slow. So, but as long as we keep bringing y'all information, you guys we trust me. We know you're gonna be a part of it. So we out of here. Anything else you guys got to say? Who that?
I just had fun today.
Love y'all, man. Doggone, who that? Go Pels, man. We out here, man. Gagne game. Let's go.